To quote my friend Forrest Gump, dating here in Ghana is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about dating here in Ghana. Yes, dating here in Ghana. We're going to be discussing the different facets of what I've personally been through dating here in Ghana. I've only been here for 2 years, so it hasn't been that long, but I have a little bit of information for my diasporans out here who are just curious about how is it dating in Ghana? What's the vibe like? Well, I am here to tell you, okay? So let's get started. Just to let you all know, this is going to be a part of my relationship series. This is not going to be the last one. I'm going to have a few different topics dealing with the relationships, dealing how we interact as male and female, dealing with different relationship topics here, and dealing with sex, y'all. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun series that I'm going to do. This is just going to be my first video talking about it. Before anything, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you like it, if you found it interesting. So please subscribe to my channel. So anyway, as I was saying about dating here in Ghana is really interesting. It's I would have to say that it is really cool kind of experiencing another culture other than your own. Of course, being in America, dating guys in America, that's old hat. That has challenges in its own way. But dating here, Ghanaian men, I have to say it's been a quite interesting experience. I have dated, kind of different types of guys, so I will start with my first type. Okay, the professional guys. A guy who is kind of like heavy into his profession, who is kind of successful in his own right, that kind of can be obsessed with work. I would have to say I was seeing a little bit, talking to a guy that was my mom's doctor. He took an interest in me, and we, sat down on a few occasions, and he was really sweet. I really liked him. Really cool guy, but he never took time away from his work. And I was like, in a potential relationship, that can be a problem. So the professional types, they kind of have an issue of, if you date a professional type of guy, that is a factor, because they're kind of consumed with work, making that coin, making sure that they can provide in that way. So that can be a little bit of a challenge. And also another ex-boyfriend of mine, who's going to come on my channel, by the way. We're still cool with each other, we're still friends, but unfortunately it didn't work out in our relationship, because he was another one that was, I would say kind of in the professional category. And I would say that he kind of had a little bit of a problem with communication. And that's another thing. Communication here, is a little bit different than, I would say, communication in the States. I would say guys kind of have a problem with communication kind of a little bit more than we do as women. But here, I think it's kind of like in the culture, communication is a little bit of a challenge. And you're kind of taught to kind of stuff things, versus us that come from the West, we're kind of saying, talk about it, let's discuss it. If there's something bothering you, please tell me. If I'm doing something, wrong, please tell me, and I'll do the same thing with you. But here, kind of taught to suppress things. So that can kind of be, I think, a cultural difference in a way of kind of expressing your feelings. So that is a challenge here of certain guys expressing their feelings as well. And I would say another thing about dating here is the guys here, the young men here, are very family oriented. I discussed this in another video, previous video of mine, of Ghanaians, the culture, family. They really promote family. So, my guys, look at you possibly as a marriage candidate, and looking to get married, have a bunch of babies, and the whole nine, which is nice, when you're ready to settle down. So, all my diasporans out there, especially my ladies, if you're here, in Ghana and possibly throughout the continent, I don't know how guys are in other places throughout Africa, but I know here in Ghana, very family orientated. So you better get ready to have those children, because they're definitely ready for them. They are, but that can, and also can be kind of a feeling where it's a little rushed. You don't want to feel like you're rushed. It's another thing about Ghanaian men. They're kind of, it's a little bit of a, they kind of feel like you need to like rush into it. And I'm a person, I kind of take things slow, try to take things as slow as I possibly can. So, that person can get to know me, I can get to know him, and I would say it's kind of like a thing where we get to know each other. And so kind of taking it slow, meeting somebody in like about a week or so, and then talking about marriage. That's a little bit like, what? But I've noticed here that guys here are very much, they're kind of into that. And they do kind of can rush you sometimes. You kind of have to pump the brakes and pause and just be like, let me just get to know you, you get to know me. And that leads me to another thing. Here, yes, women from the diaspora, I've noticed, even probably some brothers here too that come here with these Ghanaian women. But just speaking from a female's experience, they come here and they meet, a lot of the men here, they're very suave talkers in terms of, they're very attentive. They're very attentive. They kind of know what the right things to say to a woman, in terms of, kind of like, I guess like that attentiveness that sometimes is lacking in the States. I know, in the States, kind of guys can kind of be like a little like standoffish. It depends on who you're with. But here, it's easy to get swept up. And I noticed that a lot of sisters from the diaspora that come here, kind of get taken up with that. And they pay you a lot of attention. And that's gonna be led into another video where I'm discussing kind of like if you're here and you find somebody who strikes your fancy and you're like, oh, I can spend the rest of my life with him. Oh, he's perfect. Kind of like the different laws that are here in terms of marriage and just the difference of culture. I will be discussing that in another video with a friend of my mother and I's who kind of is a little well versed in that area, just to give people from the diaspora, especially women, just kind of like, a little guide, things to look for, with getting involved with another person from another culture. So I think that that's really important. Now, another thing that's here is sugar daddies. Sugar daddies are all over the world though, but here sugar daddies are very prevalent. Guys who can be twice your age, they come up to you. A lot of times they have families of their own, wives, children, but they're coming to you as almost like they say, well, let me be your side guy. Or, let me, you're so beautiful, let me just, you're so gorgeous, just want to take your number. I've had a few sugar daddies coming up to me, and I don't roll that way. Hey, you guys, I just have to get something off of my chest right now. I'm sitting here waiting for my friend, just innocently sitting here, not bothering anybody. And I have had at least probably about 2 older guys approach me. This is a thing about Ghana, and I'm not just saying, this probably happens all over the place too with sugar daddies. They're very real here when it comes to younger women. Just let all my younger sisters out here know, be careful because they're around. They want have like a side chick, as they call it. A lot of these people are married men, but they go after side chicks. And they want younger women on their arm, even though they're already married. And I'm just really like over it because, I'm not that type of person. So getting with, somebody for money or I don't operate like that. So I just kind of like, I know what these guys' game are. They're professional guys. They, drive pretty decent cars, and they feel like that women will take up with them. Because a lot of younger women here do for things, for security, and I ain't down with it. I'm really not. I'm not down with it. A lot of these guys are twice my age, and I'm just like, are you serious right now? Don't play that. But I just had to just say that, get that off my chest. Peace out. lot of these guys, have a little bit of money, and a lot of younger women here, I would say, get with them for, for material gain, for comforts, for security. And I get it, I understand. But I ain't that type of girl. I don't play that. I don't roll that way. So I would like to be with somebody because I genuinely love them. But a lot of Ghanaian young women here can go toward the sugar daddy because I can get, a bag or shoes or whatever the case may be, when it shouldn't be about that at all. You shouldn't give up the most precious self, yourself, your body, for a bag or for shoes or whatnot. But I would have to say I have a problem with these men because a lot of times their wives don't even know that they're on a stroll like that. And I have to say, I haven't been so nice to some of those guys because it's like, come on, you have a wife, you have a family. So you're coming up to me, you're twice my age, number one, and number two, you're trying to impress me because you may drive a decent car, or you may have, this certain job or whatnot. I think that's really, really tacky. And personally, I don't believe in it. But here in Ghana, being a young woman, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, for guys like that who are on the prowl, on the stroll, trying to pick up on a young tenderoni. Okay, that is very, very common. But overall, dating here in Ghana, you kind of have to be careful. Another thing you have to look out for too. I went out with a guy not too very long ago. And I kind of noticed, I was just looking for a friendship type of thing, nothing serious or anything. And when I told him that, he kind of happened to get a little bit more aggressive with me. And I'm like, hold up, pump your brakes, okay? He kind of tried to kiss me a little, kind of a little forcefully. So you have to also watch out for guys like that too. No means no, okay? If you say I'm just looking for a friendship type of thing, I'm happy to have a friend or whatnot, and they don't listen to you. That was my first and last time hanging out with him. I didn't even look upon it as a date, but he did. So it's kind of, you have to also watch out for that as well. Another thing that I would have to say to watch out for diasporans that are coming here is, of course, dating. You're gonna have, the types that are gonna say all the right things, to possibly use you for, whatever purpose. To maybe they see a ticket of traveling or monetary gain or whatnot. So you want to also be careful of that. You want to make sure that the affection is coming from the right place. So that's why you want to take things slow. I would advise anybody coming here, especially, my sisters, because we get caught up in the romance and I finally found my king. But it could be for another purpose, because I've definitely have seen and experienced a lot of that. So you just want to make sure that it's coming from a genuine, honest place, and there's nothing like that going on. So definitely watch out for that. But I have to say that has been my experience dating here in Ghana. Please, join the conversation. I would like to hear other people's, views, especially my, sisters from the diaspora, even some of my brothers, my Ghanaian brothers, my, even my people from the diaspora, guys from the diaspora. I would like to hear, your thoughts on the situation. So please, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and get ready for that dating life, y'all. Okay, catch up with you guys soon. Bye.